Just very quickly before we get into our discussion, I want to refer to King 2 at this stage and a statement saying that this is Annexure 2.1. A company may have sound reasons for appointing a chairman who does not meet all the criteria for independence or being non-executive and should be prepared to justify its decision. Your view and why are you up in arms over this decision, Theo, given that that is directly from King 2?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is we need to look at King 3. King 3 being effective from the 1st of March of this year. And King 3 basically says, Principle 2.16 states that the board should elect a chairman of the board who is an independent non-executive director. King 3 is slightly different to King 2, being that it works on the apply or explain basis. So what I would have liked to have seen coming from Anglo Platinum's senior management or from the board, when they came out with their SENS this morning, I would have liked them to have stated that they're appointing Cynthia Carroll as the chairperson. However, this does not fall within the ambience of good corporate governance being King 3, and therefore they're not adhering to the principle. Once you don't adhere to a principle, all you have to do is explain the reasons why you don't adhere to the principles. And they didn't. They basically did explain it, but it's more the explanation more a legacy issue. Whereas, you know, Fred Phaswana was a previous executive or a previous director on Anglo, and therefore we need to carry on with this legacy issue.
Well, certainly know never to quote any annexures from King 1, 2, 3, or whatever may come in the future. Andrew, how do you feel about the situation? It has hit headlines today, and there are people like Theo who are relatively unhappy about it.
What I'd like to ask Theo a question, if I could. Theo, do you believe that firstly she's adequately qualified, and if she isn't, then who would you have in her stead?
Well, I'm not looking at it from whether she's qualified or not qualified. I think we've got to look at it from the fact that she is the CEO, full-time employee of Anglo America, which is the holding company of Anglo Plat. We also have to look at it. We also have to look at the board in terms of what the board has. The board has got 6 independent non-executive directors. I mean, these are quite senior people. These are very well-qualified people. Surely, one of those 6 senior independent non-executive directors should have actually chaired the meeting or become the chairperson. Why a deputy person?
Theo, it's Derek here. Just a question for you. Obviously, it's in your mind. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not, as informed as what you are on the situation. But do you see this announcement this morning to be fundamentally changing to the company? Obviously, when you invest in any company, you've got to take the quality of management into account. And do you doubt the potential of Anglo Platinum potentially not delivering going forward? And what are your views of this management? Would you be looking at investing in a stock like Anglo Platinum after an announcement like this?
I think I'm specifically looking at it from a corporate governance perspective, and I'm specifically looking at it, let's say, if Cynthia Carroll is chairing a meeting, when she's conflicted and when she's not conflicted. I mean, for example, if you're sitting on a subsidiary and you are also the CEO of the holding company, are you not conflicted when they declare dividends? So maybe the holding company wants more dividends, so therefore they'll push the point that they want more dividends. What do you do when you do share buybacks? Share buybacks, if we do share buybacks in this case, you've got to buy the shares from somebody. So if you put a resolution forward and the chairperson is chairing the meeting, the share buybacks will be to the benefit of the holding company. And you're utilizing South African money to benefit an international shareholder, the international shareholder being Cynthia Carroll. So there are issues in terms of conflict. And
isn't balance achieved, though, with the appointment of the deputy chairman, Valli Moosa? Isn't he appropriately independent and, as I said, should bring balance to the situation and keep Cynthia Carroll in check?
Yeah, but I mean, why must Cynthia be the chairperson? I just don't understand. You know, she already has communication with the CEO of Anglo America. She's already on the board. I fail to understand in terms of their rationale behind this appointment. And because I fail to understand it, I have to fall back to the principle. And the principle of good corporate governance is that you should have an independent non-executive director.